What if I told you that one of the world's greatest empires began as a small island filled with dense forests, mysterious tribes, and fearless warriors? Before magnificent castles, powerful kings, or the British Empire ever existed, England was a wild and dangerous land where survival depended on courage alone. Today, we travel back thousands of years to uncover the incredible story of how England rose from forgotten kingdoms to shape the modern world. Long before England had a name, Celtic tribes ruled these lands. They lived in wooden villages, hunted through vast forests, and believed powerful spirits lived inside rivers, mountains, and ancient oak trees. Skilled blacksmiths forged deadly swords, while fearless warriors protected their people from rival tribes. Every sunrise brought a new challenge, and every battle became another legend whispered around glowing campfires beneath the stars. Everything changed in 43 AD. Across the sea, the mighty Roman Empire set its eyes on Britain. Thousands of disciplined Roman soldiers landed on its shores, bringing powerful weapons, military tactics, and an empire unlike anything the Celtic tribes had ever faced. What followed was one of the greatest invasions in European history, one that would forever transform England's future. For nearly 4 centuries, Rome ruled Britain. They built strong roads, magnificent forts, stone bridges, and entire cities that still exist today. London, then called Londinium, grew into one of Rome's most important settlements. Roman engineers, merchants, and soldiers transformed the island, introducing new technology, laws, and architecture that would influence England for centuries after the empire disappeared. But no empire lasts forever. By the early 5th century, Rome faced endless invasions across Europe and could no longer defend Britain. One by one, Roman legions marched home, leaving the island behind. Their departure created a dangerous power vacuum. Without Rome's protection, Britain was once again vulnerable, and a new wave of invaders was already crossing the sea toward its unprotected shores. Soon after the Romans left, fierce warriors from across the North Sea arrived. They were known as the Anglo-Saxons. Tribe after tribe crossed into Britain, defeating local kingdoms and establishing powerful new settlements. Over time, these kingdoms expanded across the island, and their language slowly evolved into what would eventually become English. In many ways, the England we know today was born during this remarkable period. Just as England began to unite under powerful Anglo-Saxon kings, another terrifying force appeared from the north. They came in longships with dragon-shaped prows, striking without warning before disappearing into the sea. These fearless warriors were the Vikings. Their raids spread fear across every kingdom, burning monasteries, looting treasures, and changing England forever. A new age of war had begun. For generations, the Vikings and the Anglo-Saxons fought for control of England. Then, in 878 AD, one man changed history forever: King Alfred the Great. Refusing to surrender, Alfred united his people, rebuilt his army, and defeated the Viking forces at the Battle of Edington. His victory saved the Anglo-Saxon kingdom, and earned him a place among England's greatest rulers. Yet England's greatest turning point was still to come. In 1066, a powerful duke from Normandy crossed the English Channel with a massive army. His name was William. At the Battle of Hastings, King Harold II fought desperately to defend his kingdom. But by sunset, Harold lay dead, and William the Conqueror stood victorious. From that single battle, England entered a completely new chapter of history. William didn't stop with victory. To secure his new kingdom, he built enormous stone castles across England. Towering fortresses rose above villages, reminding everyone who ruled the land. The most famous of them all, the Tower of London, became a symbol of royal power for centuries. Norman laws, architecture, and language transformed England forever, laying the foundation for the powerful kingdom that would eventually rule much of the world. By the early 13th century, England's kings had become more powerful than ever. But one ruler pushed his authority too far. King John demanded heavy taxes, lost important lands in France, and angered both the nobles and the church. In 1215, the English barons forced him to sign a historic document beside the River Thames. It was called the Magna Carta, and it changed the future of freedom forever. Only a few decades later, England faced an enemy far more terrifying than any army. In 1348, the Black Death arrived. Entire villages vanished within weeks as the deadly plague swept across the kingdom. Nearly half of England's population perished. Farms were abandoned, churches stood empty, and silence filled once busy towns. It was one of the darkest chapters in English history, forever changing the country's economy and society. England eventually recovered, but peace did not last. For more than 100 years, England and France fought a brutal conflict known as the 100 Years' War. Legendary battles echoed across Europe as English kings sought to claim the French throne. Victories like Agincourt turned English soldiers into heroes, while the famous longbow became one of the deadliest weapons in medieval history. The 16th century brought another revolution. King Henry VIII shocked Europe by breaking away from the Roman Catholic Church after the Pope refused to grant his divorce. He created the Church of England and placed himself at its head. His decision forever changed England's religion, politics, and relationship with the rest of Europe. After Henry came one of England's greatest rulers, Queen Elizabeth I. Under her leadership, England entered a golden age of exploration, literature, and naval power. In 1588, the mighty Spanish Armada sailed to invade England. But against all odds, Elizabeth's navy defeated the world's strongest fleet, securing England's future as a rising maritime power. The 17th and 18th centuries transformed England forever. Inventors, engineers, and entrepreneurs sparked the Industrial Revolution. Steam engines powered factories, railways connected distant cities, and new inventions changed how people lived and worked. England became the birthplace of modern industry, leading the world into a completely new age. As industry flourished, England expanded across the globe. The British Empire stretched over continents, controlling lands in Asia, Africa, the Americas, and Oceania. At its height, it became the largest empire in human history. People often said, the sun never sets on the British Empire, because somewhere in the world, the British flag was always flying beneath daylight. The 20th century tested England like never before. During World War I and World War II, millions of British men and women sacrificed everything to defend their homeland. Cities endured relentless bombing, families were torn apart, and entire generations lived through unimaginable hardship. Yet England refused to surrender. Through courage, determination, and unity, the nation stood firm against some of history's greatest challenges. Today, England is known for its rich history, world-famous universities, iconic landmarks, and lasting influence on global culture. From Shakespeare and Newton to the Industrial Revolution and modern democracy, England has shaped the world in countless ways. Every castle, cathedral, and cobblestone street reminds us that the past is never truly gone. It continues to live through the stories we remember. From ancient Celtic tribes to Roman conquerors, Viking warriors, mighty kings, queens, and the greatest empire the world had ever seen, England's journey is one of resilience, ambition, and transformation. Its story changed the course of human history forever. Thank you for traveling through history with Arthur Vale. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe to StoryFace, because our next journey into the past is waiting just beyond the horizon.